Hi everyone, hello, welcome to Healing Journeys. So I'm Christelle Arria. On this channel, I'm sharing knowledge regarding indigenous knowledge systems, more specifically African knowledge systems, and how it can help us to bring more harmony, balance in our lives. Today, in this video, I would like to share another episode of Words Matter, and we're going to focus on ancestors, departed ones, ascendants. So these are three words that are referred to, I would say, three different realities when we consider indigenous knowledge systems, so across the globe, right, in various civilizations and systems, and we're going to look more specifically at African knowledge systems. So you may have already heard about the ancestors and how much it is important to have a connection, to have a relationship with your ancestors, to have a good relationship with your ancestors. Maybe you have already heard that you can talk to them, that you can ask them for help, for support, for pieces of advice, guidance, so forth and so on. You certainly have already heard that, well, we consider that when someone passed away, when someone leaves their physical body, when they transition, or when it's, as it's often called, when they die, um, like the soul, the spirit of the person doesn't die. They were still a part of this person, a part of their being that remains alive. Um, I assume that you are already familiar with that. If not, well, you have just learned it, and there will be more content about that in the future. Here, what I would like to highlight is the difference between ancestors, so those that we call ancestors, and those that we call the departed one, or also the ascendants. So ascendants are those people, our relatives, our blood relatives, so people from our blood family, our biological family, that came, that lived on this planet before us. These are the ascendants. I think this is kind of easy to grasp, right? Um, and then you have the ancestors. You may have already heard like this word with other adjectives next to it, such as the well ancestors, the good ancestors, the elevated ancestors, um, what there is again, the benevolent ancestors, the supportive ancestors. I have also heard about that. All those words and like adjectives coming next to ancestors are completely valid. They refer to a, the same, a shared reality. Um, that is, we consider, we make a difference between our ascendants, or the people that we know who passed away, and those that we call ancestors, those that we consider are considered as ancestors. And when in my videos I refer to the ancestors, you may have already heard me saying things like you can call on your ancestors, you can call on you, especially your pre-colonial ancestors, right? I'm referring to those that we also call the well ancestor, the elevated ancestor, the benevolent ancestors, or the supportive ancestors. Well, it's not because someone passed away that this person becomes automatically an ancestor. This is something important to understand. Like an ancestor, um, it's someone that I would say has um, worked or has done what they could during their time here to have a life with balance, harmony, and who have also done the work, what they had to do to repair like repair relationships, um, caring for themselves, caring for others, being in good relationships with life in general, so also the earth, right, and the other living beings, the more than human living beings, and also even a good relationship with their own ancestors. So, and this may have been achieved by some before they, they leave this physicality, and for others they still need some time, some practice even after leaving this physicality. And how this can happen? It can happen with our support, our work, our devotion, our prayer, through rituals, ceremonies, and prayers as well. Those who passed away and who haven't uh, reached, even though I'm not sure if it's the correct word, but I'm going to use this word, reach this stage of being an ancestors. So it is a process. It is something that you can achieve even after you passed away. And for us, this is very important to know that, because it means that we can support them, sorry, through prayers, rituals, ceremonies. And it also means that for us, it is important, at least in our mind, to understand, to make the difference when we call on our ancestors and when we speak of our departed ones. That is something that is important. Like basically my ancestors asked me to do this video, and they told me to share this difference. It's like, imagine if you don't, if this difference is not clear for you and you just say ancestors when you talk about all your departed ones, right? uh, they don't know if you're calling them or if you're calling another group of people. So this is why it is also important for you to make the difference. Like, then when you say ancestors, when it's clear in your mind, in your heart, your ancestors are going to be um, like, I would say, attentive, like to pay attention to what you're saying, right? They're going to be like, oh, they're calling us. Okay, what do you need? Like, do you need help, support, and so on? And if not, they would be like, oh, okay, well, not talking about us. Okay, leave this request. This request is not for us, and so on. So it is also very important to understand that our ancestors, they will be active in our lives to support us, depending on how much we care, how much we want to connect with them, because they don't want to be invasive, they don't want to control us. So if we don't invite them in our life, why would they come? Like, they also respect our boundaries. So if you don't invite someone in your private life, why would this person come and like be in your business, right? So that's also important to have this in mind. I hope this part is clear. Another point that I can mention is that when we refer to ancestors, we're not only talking about our biological ancestors. You can also have, how to say, um, professional ancestor, in the sense that people that are who guide you, who inspired you in the work, the profession that you do. For instance, if you, I'm here, I mean, it's not really a profession, but I'm specifically thinking of activists, for instance. We can call on some very well-known um, ancestors, activists, for instance. Um, uh, that, you know, especially if you are an activist, or if you need courage, if you need to speak up, if you need to stand up for yourself, for the right of other people, you may need their support, um, their, their guidance, you know, how to navigate the situation and so on. So this could be also something to keep in mind, that it's not only related to your biology. And as we consider also other living beings, so not only the human, but also more than humans. So I'm thinking, for instance, to the vegetals. Uh, you may also calling them for support, for help, for instance. So you can also refer to the land ancestors. So this is also something important to have in mind. I think I will do another video related to this topic, to the other than biological ancestors. But here in this video, I really would like to highlight, to invite us to keep in mind this distinction between ancestors, departed ones, ascendants. It's very important. And of course, the departed ones are not necessarily our ascendants, because if your cousins or brother or sister passed away, this person is not an ascendant, right? But this person is still a departed one. I think the difference is quite easy to understand. Maybe one last point about that: the challenges that some of the departed ones have faced may still have an impact for us in our lives. This is why it's also very important to make this distinction between departed one and ancestors, because you can call on the support of your ancestors to help you proceed to the rituals and ceremonies needed to accompany these departed ones so they become an ancestor. I hope you're seeing this, like the circle here. Your ancestors, so the elevated ancestor, can support you in the rituals, the ceremonies, the prayer that you're going to carry to help, to support, to accompany the departed ones in their journey so they can become ancestors themselves. And very often, the challenges faced by departed ones are impacted our lives, or could be the challenges that we are also dealing with. So if we want to fully have harmony in those parts of ourselves, well, it includes uh, like healing or bringing more harmony to our departed ones. And it's not only for them, it's not only for us, it's also for the generations coming. Because I assume you don't want to leave those challenges to the generations coming. So this is also something important to have in mind. It's a generational process. I hope it's clear. Maybe you wonder which rituals, ceremonies, and so on. Well, I'm sure we will have time to speak about that. If it wasn't clear, don't hesitate to leave some comments in the videos. I would be happy to help. For now, that's all for me. I wish you well. Hope to see you soon. Let's take care of ourselves and of each other. Bye.